Go live. I think we're going live. I'm live. All right. Here we are. And it is June 25th. For nope, it might have just turned. Let me just check. Maybe it's yeah, it is the 25th. It was the 24th, but now it's June 25th. So hello, thank you for you coming by my YouTube site. Hi, Wolf Machine. How are you? Good to see you here. For people that don't know, I was in Scientology for 30 years and woke up in 2000 and escaped out. And was literally in LA at LAX, was not really a critic. I was not going to say anything. I was just going to leave quietly. And by the time they did all the stuff that they did, by the time I got to the Tampa airport, I was an activist speaking out about Scientology. So they really turned me into it. That's what happened. But, and that was next month. That's when I woke up. So let me look and see. Okay, so Eileen, hi, good morning. I love it. Thank you for coming on. Nanya, never in, always against, always gives me a laugh. It's really great. Marie Duffy, hi. Verity, hello. I like your hearts. Purple Groovy 69, very cool. Eric Levitt, hi, from Culver City. Um, Marloco, nice. Maria Diller, raid from Critic. Oh, you're from a raid from Cricket. Okay, with Chow Young Snut. All right, I don't even know that person. So thank you for coming by, and please subscribe if you haven't. And it's free, so just subscribe. And also hit the like button, each person, so that we get those up. Hey, Sophie, hi from New Zealand. Wonderful. All right. And yay, I made it live. Hello, OG Tori. Hi, good to see you. Hey, Queen Tori. All right. Hello, Adrian. Heidi. All right. And Swedish Lena. Hi, good evening, everyone from Australia. All right. So we've got the United States, New Zealand, Australia. I love it. Hello, friends. Form 13, 909. Okay. Sounds interesting. DF Lawless. Good morning, Tori. Witness, hi. How are you? City of Angels. Hi, Tori. I can't sleep. Well, it's a good thing you came by here. And howdy from Austin. All right. And Nanya, I'm glad my name makes you smile. It does. It's really cute. Okay. And Miss Withholding. That's a funny one, too. All right. My mom is home from the hospital after the heart attack last week. She's doing better and resting a lot. Good. That's good to know, Eric. I'm sure she's really happy you're there with her. That's very important. Thank you for helping her. All right. Tamber June. All right. Here is Here from Crickets Live. All right. She's awesome. Subscribed last time. You're awesome. Okay. Thank you. I'll have to check that out. I don't think I've been to Crickets Live, but I will. Let me just write it down so I've got it. Crickets Live. All right. Good. I love crickets. It's funny, my friend absolutely hates them, and I'm like, I'm the opposite. I really like them. So that's a good name. All right. And then let me just see here. Meditating with love. Nice. Very nice. Aloha. Ooh, you must be in Hawaii. Mike, good to see you from Thailand. All right. You know, my brother's there on Koh Phangan, on that island off of Thailand. That's where he lives. Only because of COVID. He was on his way to Vietnam to do a concert, and because of COVID, they wouldn't, and he's American, they wouldn't let him in any other country. So he stayed in Thailand, and he said, "I've always wanted to retire on an island anyway." So here he is, but he has a lot of fun there. Let's see. Please put question before questions and comments before a comment. Okay. So looking forward to tonight's Tori TED Talk tonight. Very good. Okay. Ooh, wow. You're from Chiang Mai. Wow. Hi, Bill Ellis. We used to have Mr. Ellis live next door to us when I was growing up. Um, so everyone's saying hi, chat. That's good. All right, good. So now let me just check the start things. Okay. Okay, good. So I think I've got most of them. Meditating with love. That's cute. The way they've got it with all their hearts. It's really cute. And here's this person, Bill, my old neighbor. I wonder if you're related. Okay, so anyway, tonight people ask me all the time about Scientology and celebrities and what's the deal with them. Like, why are there so many? Why is there so much attention on Scientology and celebrities? And basically, what it is if you think about it, if you get someone like Tom Cruise in, which they have, as you know, and John Travolta, two big ones that have stayed in, instead of having one person that can talk to their friends, those guys, because of the nature of their, being movie stars, there's millions of people, if they speak about it, that hear about Scientology, which originally that was Hubbard's plan, was that they would get them in and then get them promoting Scientology. And for a long time, that, on and off it would work. Different people, different celebrities did, other ones didn't. But they were known for that. And they still are. Like Tom Cruise and John Travolta, they still are. But are they expanding or contracting? They are way contracting. I mean, just enormously. When I was in, if you walked around any of the Scientology buildings, they were just mobbed with people. I mean, there were people inside, there were tons of staff, there were tons of public. Everybody was on course. It was a lot of fun back in 1969 for me. Now, I've talked to some people who were on staff who said it wasn't fun back then. Okay. But I also have friends that were on staff, and back then we all kind of agree it was just a different time. But there were a lot of celebrities and a lot of musicians, artists, writers, um, composers. It was kind of an amazing time. It was neat. It was really neat because it reminded me a lot of when I was in Haight Ashbury, because we were around so many incredible bands back then. And they were all kind of starting out, and we would run into them all over the place, and they'd have big concerts and stuff like that. We'd go, and it was really fun. It really felt like a renaissance in Haight Ashbury in the '60s. And Scientology, for me, when I was at Celebrity Center, I felt like it was sort of a kind of an extension of Haight Ashbury. It was just a different thing, but it was back in the early days. There was a lot of hope. A lot of people hoped that the things that Hubbard was researching would work, which we later found out they didn't. Some left much earlier than me, but I eventually at least woke up and left. I mean, tons of my friends are still in, my old friends, and my husband, my ex-husband of 26 years, is still in, and thus none of them will talk to me, not one. They can't. They're not allowed to. If they do, they'll get declared suppressive. That's the way it is. So it is definitely contracting. And the reason that they try to keep celebrities in there, like I said, because they have much bigger access to people. But it was fun back in that day because Celebrity Center was, I mean, it was really funny because it was way down on what's called 8th Street here in LA, which is kind of a dumpy area. And I was up more on this end at the American St. Hill, which now it's all at the complex, you know. Well, I mean, Celebrity Centers itself, it's still itself, but all the other organizations that used to be kind of in different buildings are now all together at the complex, which is the blue building that you see all the time. And you know, it was just a different time. You know, so back then it was a really funky street, though. I mean, I think it still is, but it was really funky back then. And you know, there was a guy named the Fly Man, and we called him the Fly Man because he was always like swatting flies and stuff like that. And the Mirror Man, he was a guy that would always walk around talking into a mirror. He'd go into Denny's and he'd order his whatever he was going to eat through the mirror. You know, it was kind of a weird time. And the Sea Org wore these space uniforms, not for long, because it was so freaky. But they were like these, literally like things you'd see in the movies for people that are going into outer space. That's what they were wearing with these helmets and, you know, their uniform and stuff like that. And I remember I was just like, oh my God, they must. I thought the place was so dumpy down there. I thought they can't really be going OT down there. So this was my theory. Being a hippie and newly out of being a hippie and, you know, LSD and drugs and stuff like that. And I thought, you know what? I'll bet you anything they have a spaceship behind one of those buildings. And they all go in those spaceships at AOLA. They go up to another planet. That's where they do the OT levels. And then they bring them back down here. I really literally thought that for, I don't know, a month or something. But it was funny. It was something that flashed through my mind. And then these guys actually started building a spaceship behind their house. I mean, for real. I, I think it was called Safe Space. And people would put money into it and stuff like that. And they were building a spaceship. And then somehow, I guess Hubbard found out about it and said, no, you know, stop it. You know, because he wanted the money to go to the church. But, you know, back then, you're not putting it together like that. Like, you guys have so much information that you have access to. It's funny to kind of think of where we were at and so isolated, insulated, and believing what he was saying versus now with the internet and everything. It's just shocking to me to this day that people still stay in Scientology. It just is. It's just shocking, you know, because there's such easy access to all the information. Anyway, I'm going to look at some of the started things and see if you have questions. Ask me, please. Okay, so love the new streak in your hair, sassy pride person, heart lesbian. Okay, I'm not a lesbian, but you are, I guess. That's what I think. Or maybe it reminds you of that. I don't know. But I'm not a lesbian. All right. Hello from Toronto. I have no business being awake. Rarely get to see Tori live. Oh, well, it's good to see you. Hi, Kim. I'm glad to see you live. All right. And this is from Sophie. Question. So, how many people do you think are still in? And please talk about how it was when you joined compared to now. Okay, me personally, we hear all kinds of um, different numbers of how many people are in. I would say probably 200,000 at the most around the world. That's what I think. I mean, I know Miscavige says 80 million or whatever he says. It doesn't matter. He lied every time we went to events with him. He was always lying. So it doesn't matter. I mean, you can just look in the buildings and you see there's hardly any. There's like 2 or 3 people in each building. So, you know, there's no one around here. There may be some in Clearwater, but I look at the videos even when Aaron walks around out there or Mark Bunker, There's not, you don't see many Scientologists. You just don't. So I don't, I mean, you never see them here. And here you used to see them all the time. When I first got in, I've told this story many times, but I went with a friend of mine, excuse me, and there was a line outside of American St. Hill with auditors who were just out there talking after course. I'm gonna have a little. Someone told me to eat this. It's honey and ginger, so for my throat. But it was jumping. It was really jumping, and that helped too because it was really easy to get people in because you'd say, "Oh, come on by, you got to see it." And there were so many people there, and they were really smart people and cool people and professors and musicians and artists and writers, and it was just like this haven of cool people. It was like, why would we leave? That was the other thing. It was like, why would we leave? We Hubbard is doing his research, and we're following him on that. And okay, this didn't work as well as we thought, but it kind of worked. The infamous, it kind of worked. And the next thing is supposedly really supposed to work. So that's how it was. But for me, in 1969, and all my friends that I know that are out and were there at that time, we all agree overall it was a really good time. It was creative, it was interesting, there was a lot of hope. Now it's like, forget it. I mean, I don't even get how they get anybody in. Because back then, remember, they had missions. That was a big part of creating Scientology, was Hubbard started these missions. And those were businesses back then. So you could buy a mission, start it, and basically, get people in. And a lot of people didn't want to go into the Church of Scientology, right? It was just too weird. So they'd start these missions and it'd be like, yeah, come on over to our house. We'll have coffee and cookies. My mother-in-law used to do this, and her husband. And I said, yeah, we'll have coffee and cookies and we'll talk a little bit about Dianetics. And some of their stories are riot. I mean, if you could hear them, they're just too funny. But anyway, that was kind of how it was for a lot of us back then, as you kept going and thinking, well, it's going to get better. And remember, you can't talk to each other about it. So if it didn't work for you and it didn't work for me, we can't talk to each other about it. So we can't go, man, this really didn't work for me. And the other person, yeah, me neither. Let's get out of here. You can't do that. That's a high crime. So, you think you're in your own little, well, it sort of worked for me. And remember, if it doesn't work for you, Hubbard had all this shit to make you wrong because it didn't work for you, right? Your PTS, your downstat, your out ethics. They had all these little terms that if it didn't work for you, then you were that. So people would be like, oh, no, it worked for me. Yeah, I had really good wins on it. Mm-hmm. Yep. Because most of us wanted to stay with each other. We were friends. We liked each other. And this is my theory, is that I stayed because of the people and some hope. There was hope for a long time that it would get better. That's it. Anyway, I hope that answers it, Sophie. Let me know if it did. Okay. Please write a book, Tori. I would have loved to have worn tie dye with you. I know. I'm trying. I am. I am trying. I am. Okay. How far up the bridge did you get, and how much of that was auditing? Did you audit any celebrities? Mm, the bridge is like a triangle, right? And there's auditing and training. So the highest training is class 12. I got trained up to class 5. So So say class 5. The highest auditing was OT8, and I got it up to OT7. So that was it. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, did I audit any celebrities? Um, I didn't audit a celebrity, but right when John Travolta came in, well, two things happened that were celebrity things that I remember. One, I didn't audit anybody that was a celebrity, but I did train. And years later, when I was still volunteering for OSA, Battlefield Earth came out and they said, okay, you got to come with us, Tori. We got to make sure none of these SPs get to Travolta. I said, okay. So we went there and they didn't. And the movie was a disaster, as you all know. And so then afterwards, they had this secret party. And so I was there with them, which like Bill and Gavino and me, right? And we're standing there, and people are going in with their little. You had to have a tag saying, you were invited. And so John comes walking out, and he goes, Tori, and he gives me a big hug, and he gives me a big hug, and he goes, I will never forget you. So that was nice. And I saw him another time at the Aero Theater. And I went to a premiere that he had, and I went up to tell him, "Hey, good job!" And he gave me a big hug. So and I was the only person he hugged there. It was really sweet. But I always hope he'll get out. I really do, because I know him. Anyway, we'll see. It's always a we'll see thing. So there was that, and then the other one. I think I've told you guys this, but it was I just went blank on her name. What's her name that I give the touch assist to? Barbara. I just went blank on her name. Anyway, I gave her, she was the star of Nashville. So somebody look up the star of Nashville, because I can't remember it right now. I just went totally blank on it. Karen Black. That's it. Never mind. I got it. And Karen Black, Yvonne Jens, who created and ran Celebrity Center, came up to me and said, look, Karen Black has a huge movie tomorrow, and she's lost her voice. And so I need you to go out there and give her a touch assist. And basically, the intention was you handle it, right? I was like, okay. And handle it meaning get rid of whatever is hurting her voice. Okay, so I go over to Karen Black's house and I start giving her this touch assist. And the touch assist, I know I've told a bunch of you guys this before, but someone asked me it, so I will again. Wait, let me see who asked me. Club Blue 64. Okay. So normally a touch assist is like feel my finger, feel my finger, feel my finger, feel my finger, and you kind of go up and down the body like that. And the person usually go like this, feel my finger, and they go, uh-huh, okay, feel my finger, yes, good. All right, feel my finger, yes, good. And you just do that. And you usually do it maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes, right? And that's it. And they usually go, okay, I feel better. All right, end of assist. So I do this thing with Karen, and I wasn't OT3 at the time, so I had no idea what she was doing. And kind of to this day, I still don't know what she was doing, because even having done OT3, I mean, I guess she was trying to handle BTs and clusters. That's the only thing I can think of. But I'd go like this. This is this assist. I'd close your eyes, and I'd say, feel my finger. And I'm not kidding. 15, 20 minutes later, she'd go, okay. And I thought, good Lord, what is this woman doing? And I go, feel my finger. And 10, 15, 20 minutes later, okay, I got it. And, I just kept doing it, but I just figured she must know what she's doing, because I didn't. It wasn't per the touch assist bulletin. It wasn't that, it was never, I've given tons of touch assists, and I'd never given one like that. But she would afterwards, she got her voice back. She did Nashville the next day, which really boomed her career. And so from then on, for years, wherever we were, she'd go, Tori, 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 come on over here. And she'd tell all of their friends, whoever she was with, This lady gave me a Scientology touch assist, and from that I got my voice back so I could do Nashville. She did it all the time. It was really neat. It was kind of fun. It was. So anyway, that's my main auditing of. I didn't really audit, but it touch assist is it's an assist. That's what it is. But anyway, it worked. I've been watching old videos of L. Ron Hubbard Way. Yes, busy and packed. Yeah, yeah. If you look at the old videos, you'll see it. Oh, wait a minute. Here's Melody. I think at one time it was trendy to be in Scientology. Now I think it makes people look very brainwashed. I agree. It's a whole different thing. I mean, that happened years ago where they just started looking really in a trance and just weird. Okay, hey Tori Kelly from southwest suburbs of Chicago. All right. I love watching your videos. Thank you. Thank you. If you guys ever have anything you want me to talk about, please let me know. Because, I want to help as much as I can. All right, this is the moose on a loose. On the loose. Hey Tori, haven't I caught a live in a while, but always watch and like it in the morning. All right. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Melody, Peach and Love Hippie. Kind of, yep. Question. Doesn't it seem that LRH treated the celebrities differently than David Miscavige? Oh, yeah. I mean, I've seen interviews with John Travolta and he never met LRH. Well, here's the thing. Definitely, I mean, LRH never met any of the celebrities that I know of. I mean, they might have gone to the ship. I could be wrong there. So they could have gone out to the ship and met him there. And yeah, I'm sure he treated them differently than Miscavige. But most of them, it was Yvonne. Yvonne was amazing. I mean, she was an amazing person, just in general. I mean, everyone that knew her, worked with her, to this day feels like we were very lucky to know her. She's just one of those people. That's incredible. So I think she was the one more than anybody that really treated the celebrities differently. See, now I don't know who runs it, but it changed all while I was in. It changed, and Yvonne died, and then whoever took over, it was just different. I mean, that's where I watched Danny turn into from a really, I thought, a nice kid to this really kind of snotty, like, oh, you have to be in a movie to sit at my table. I was like, hey, screw you. But it's the way it was. It just changed from kind of she was very inclusive, and now it's very exclusive. It's sort of like, you know, it's it's not cool, in my opinion. Okay, so and Miscavige, of course, is awful with with everyone. So that's that. Hey, Mike, question. You must have run into Hare Krishnas back then, didn't you? I did, yeah. There were quite a few of them around Los Angeles at that time. I never talked to them. I didn't. I'll tell you that. But I used to hear them jingling their things. All right, hi from New York City. And the ironic thing, Mike, is that I could see them as a cult, but I could never see us as a cult. And that happened in a couple of places where we used to go to Marietta Hot Springs, and that was run by the Alive Polarity, which was a total cult. And we could see they were a cult, but we couldn't see we were. Isn't that weird? It really is when you think about it. All right, Kimberly. It's surreal that people who are still in can be forbidden to talk to family members who left C of S and still not realize that they're in a cult. I know. It really it really is. But when you're in it, like I said, you're so insulated, and they do cut off your family, your friends, so that the only people you are surrounded with are people that love Scientology and think it's great. Now, whether they really do or not, like I said, if you watch OT Speaking Freely, which I think is on Mark Brunkert's site. But you can just Google it, OT's Speaking Freely. And it's got Greg and Deborah Barnes, Peter Alexander, and me right after we left. I mean, like a couple of weeks after we left. And all of us are like sharing these horror stories. You know, it was just like this happened to me. I mean, they weren't like horror stories, but it was totally different than what we thought. You know, it was like they're very big on it, standard tech, and everyone has the same thing. No, it wasn't at all. I mean, this guy did this, and they had that. And it was very different. It's an interesting video. I recommend it. Nanya, all right, never in, always against. Question: was the horrible dim battlefield Earth based on Hubbard's OT crap? I think so. You know, um, he was a sci-fi writer, so um, it was one of his science fiction things. It's too bad he didn't talk to us ahead of time. Not that it would have been great, but it would have been better. Because we thought like Star Wars, how they had that whole written thing, kind of walking you into what Star Wars was about. And they could have done the same thing for Battlefield Earth, but of course, by that time they knew everything and we knew nothing. So there you go. Thank you for your hearts. Tori is a breath of fresh air, kindness, and wisdom. Wow, thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I got to see it again. Thank you. Never in, always against. I love that. Cracks me up. Hit the like, y'all. Thank you. Yadira. Yadira? Am I saying it right that way? Okay, and this is Francesca. Francisca. Comment. My YouTube is recommending more and more of your older streams. Keep it up, Tori. Wow. Well, that's interesting. Is that a good thing? I don't really know. I don't know that much about YouTube, believe it or not. I know I told you when DOA came over here with Lara, they were like, I can't believe, I think I have like 5 million views and 25,000 subscribers. And I never made any money on this at all. And he was like, I can't believe you've done this for 24 years and never made any money. But it just wasn't a thing. I just wanted to help educate people on it. And I'm happy for anybody who has chipped in some money. I really appreciate it. It's such a surprise. Every time it happens, I'm like, oh my God. And it doesn't matter if it's like $5 or $20. It doesn't matter. Somebody sent me $200. I was like, wow, that is so kind and generous. It really, for someone who's been speaking out for 24 years, it's like, holy moly. It's really very sweet. Anyway, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys coming here. I love having you here. I love your comments. Little Davy is a notorious liar. That is correct, 100%. And David Miscavige, if this comes to you, you are a known liar. Just so you know, you're not going to weasel out of this one. Now, what does this say? Wait a minute. Nanya. I love watching Tori's old videos. Same cute spin, my lady. I hope it isn't boring. That's the only thing I worry about is that, maybe I'm just, I don't know. That's why I'm saying to you guys, if you have questions, I want you to ask me. I mean, spunky lady. Okay, good. All right, good. All right. And this is Eric. Question. I know Kirstie Alley was a Scientologist for years. Was she ever a mean person in real life? Oh, yeah. And was she sweet and kind before she passed? I didn't know her before she passed. She was funny, you know what I mean? She was a good person. I'm saying, oh yeah, because we one time picketed outside of her. I think she had like an organic vitamin store that she was starting, And she was out there, and boy, she was mean. She could be mean. She was really nasty to all of us. But but then we did a thing with this garbage can where we went around, and I forget what we were saying. It was something about the garbage can. It was like, oh yeah, Kirstie Alley. It was her. She won this award, and we were going all around Celebrity Center, going, do you do you know Kirstie Alley? I mean, because she won this garbage can thing, and she won this award for being the worst Scientologist ever. People laughed. I mean, it was really funny. It was, but I don't know. Before she died, you know, I, I like to think she probably was, but I don't know. I know she's better now than she was when she was here. I know that because she's away from the cult. She's free. It's fun until I realized that it was what was really going on. Right? Exactly. That's very true, Mike. Okay, good. You haven't changed a bit, and that's wonderful. Really? That feels, I don't know, I feel like that's kind of awful. But don't forget to put question marks and provide as much content as possible. Thank you, Sophie. All right. Good morning. Question. Exactly. Good question, Jennifer. The missions used to be so important. Why are they so few now? That's such a great question. What happened is this: management, Scientology used to be like this, right? That's how it was, And so most of the tech was down here at the missions, right? And then it slowly, people moved up the bridge to total freedom, right? But a lot of people dropped off. But at the mission level, that's when they got people in. That's what they were responsible for, was getting new people in. So you'd think they'd keep it around. I mean, that's how they were getting new people in. No, no, no. What happened is they changed. The management used to be just like this, where it was like L. Ron Hubbard at the top, a couple of management people, and the rest was all tech, and admin. But it was all stuff that that was working within the orgs. And all of a sudden, in the 90s, they changed it to the command channels of Scientology. I remember I was on course at the time, and it was like RTC and the Watchdog Committee and this and that. And then there was middle management, and then there was lower management. And then, like, way down here in the triangle, I'm not kidding, was the briefing course, and the missions were gone. That was it. So it was now inverted, and they got rid of the mission, and they got rid of the missions because they changed them. See, they used to be private businesses, so you owned a business, so you could make money with it, and people made a lot of money. Some people made a lot of money. But now they changed it and put it under RTC, meaning it's run by the church. You have to send your statistics up every week to the church. So I remember running into Ed Mooney, who now passed away. He had an aneurysm years ago, but he was running a mission in Chicago. And I saw him out in the street, and he's holding a coffee cup, and he looks really bummed out. And I loved the whole family. And I said, Ed, what's going on? And he said, it's over. And I said, what does that mean, it's over? And he said, well, now we have to report everything that we do to RTC, and they're going to send down things, statistics that we have to keep up with. And he said, I'm done. I'm not doing that. I didn't get into Scientology to do that, and I'm not going to do it. So I'm done. And I think that happened to a lot of people. And so the whole mission network just kind of went down. That was it. And that was a really brilliant move, David Miscavige. Way to go. Because now you don't get any new people in at all. The only thing they have is the stupid testing center, which doesn't really work anyway. And, that was such a functioning thing. Why get rid of it? Why? Because They were control freaks, and they were like, nope, we're gonna run it. Okay, great, you're running it, and it's empty, and you don't get new people in either. Hi, Pamela. Good morning. All right, and Jennifer, the missions. Okay, so I answered that. Hi, everyone, and Tori. Hi, Caroline. All right. Audit LA found a Scientology mission in Chatsworth. Yeah, I think there's a few left, but I'm just saying they're way, way few from what they used to be. I mean, they were everywhere. Um, it is against LRH policy to close missions, isn't it, Tori? I thought every org was supposed to. Yeah, that was in the day with LRH, but not with Miscavige. No. And remember, he doesn't really follow policy, even though he pretends like he does, but not really. Okay. Joey's stories fascinate me. Thank you, Nanya. All right. Ocean View. Did you know about the Sea Org living conditions? I was public 30 years ago. I always thought everyone was so kind, cool, and happy. I literally thought the Sea Org lived on a cruise ship in paradise. No, I knew. I don't know. I knew enough Sea Org members that I knew they weren't in paradise, and they were not. That's funny. That really is. Thanks for sharing. Oh my God, that is. You thought the Sea Org lived on a cruise ship in paradise. Well, some of them did live on a cruise ship, but it certainly wasn't a snazzy cruise ship. Like my Sea Org. How do I get rid of this? I can't get up there now. My Sea Org days. Oh, I know. I'll do this. Hit the like button. I was my ship training was out in the L.A. harbor on this just dumpy. I don't know what it was, but anyway, that's where I was. Cricket. All right. It would be great to hear more of your hippie days sometime before Scientology. I know I don't really have like tons of stories to tell you. I mean, it was a crazy time. It was a wonderful time. It was sort of like every day there was something new happening. Every day, new people creating music, making beads, making clothing, tie-dye clothing. Everybody's how they did their hair. It was just they had concerts all the time. It was just a fantastic time. And I originally was living with my boyfriend there, and then we kind of broke up, and I moved in with all these other hippies, and so I was just kind of living in this. I don't even know where it was. I know it was right off Haight and Ashbury. That sign. It was right near there. But anyway, it was a wild time. We were all stoned all the time, so we kept doing drugs all through it. So like just more like social druggies. Where we try something, no, that didn't work out. Let's try something else. We just it's the way it was. I mean, a free win shirt. Okay, no, wait. Oh, darn! It already jumped away. You're gonna have to write it again because it already went away. Tell what you know about Narconon. I remember the place and when it closed down. It's not closed down. They still have Narconon going. Um, but I worked at Narconon Int, which is the executive part of it, and they're supposed to be the drug education and handle and help get people off drugs. They have very bad statistics on it. A lot of people that worked at Narconon, it turned out, were doing drugs, selling drugs. It was not good. And they're always trying to push it into the schools. They got it into all of California doing the drug education. And Dave Turetsky, who's a professor at Carnegie Mellon, and a bunch of other people did the research on it, and then Dave called me and he said, look, we've got to have somebody who was in to talk to the journalist who knows about Narconon. So I said, all right, have him call me. I'll answer what I can. And the main thing that was in the paper from my quote was it is 100% under the umbrella of the Church of Scientology. Because they always try to say, oh no, Narconon's a separate thing, and then the Church of Scientology. Well, they are separate things, but they're all under the same umbrella. They all report their statistics because remember, I worked at Narconon Int. So I knew every Thursday, right at 2, all those statistics. They had all these fax machines going. And I remember they had a guy that worked at the desk, at the front desk. And he said to me, can I ask you something? And I said, yeah, sure. And he was not ever in Scientology. I guess they just hired him to work there. And so he said, these guys really go nuts on Thursday. I mean, what's going on? I just don't get it. And I said, okay, think of it like a football game, and Thursday before 2 is like if you were on the third line, right? You can make your touchdown and win or not, or first line, but right by the touchdown. And that's what Thursday at 2 is. And if they get their statistics up, they get Saturday off, half of Saturday. They get they call it libs, which is for liberty, and they get the day off. If they don't get their statistics up, they don't get off Saturday. They have to work. So he finally went, oh, thank you. It was really interesting to see someone who had never been in Scientology. He was like, what is the deal with these people? Yeah, I know. It's pretty crazy. It really is. You almost have to be there to see how crazy it is. Good evening, morning. Yeah, it's good morning, Miss Tori. Hi, Kathy. Thank you for coming by. Oh, wait a minute. Comment. Mark Bunker is uploading older videos upgraded to 4K. I know. Yeah, they're fun. They're really good. Love you, Miss Tori. Thank you, Portland SP supporter. Melody. All right, cool. All right. I love these stories. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad. Organic liaison was Christie's business. Ah, yeah, you're right. That's the one that we protested. And boy, she was mad at us. Woo. And I knew her from being in Scientology. Cults usually evolve from getting new members to scamming the public. It's easier and makes more money. Yeah. Yeah, it's like multi-level kind of thing where it's very similar. Okay, here's Kathy. You worry you're boring? I do. One of the first things I remember seeing about Scientology was Occupied Clearwater with you, and it has always stuck with me. Well, that's cool. I'm trying to remember Occupied Clearwater, which I can't even remember what that was. Isn't that weird? I can't. I remember the name Occupied Clearwater, but was that with the where we had the injunction? I think that's what it was, the injunction, but I'm not sure. Jennifer, I didn't think there was Scientology in North Carolina. There's a mission in Charlotte. I think I'll have to make a trip. Said, wow, 100 miles. Forget it. Just call them. Just call down there. 100 miles. The Scientology cruise ship was full of asbestos. Yeah, true. All cruise ships are like floating prisons. Well, we found out about that from Lawrence Woodcraft. He was he worked with the ships and he reported that about the asbestos. And they're supposed to have gotten it out. Who knows? All right, Eric, what would the cruise ship be named? I think it would be Scientology of the Sea. What, what do you mean? What would the cruise ship be named? What are you talking about? Scientology of the Sea. Well, they have it. They have their cruise ship. It's called the Free Winds. I don't even know if they use it anymore. Somebody could check that out and let me know. There was a gal at Leon today wearing a shirt that said free wins. Ooh, seriously bad. Although some of the critics love to wear stuff like that, so that could be it. Where they're just teasing. If ever you see that, this is my thing. Go up and say, hey, what does your t-shirt mean? Free wins? What is that about? And if they're critics, they'll tell you, oh, Scientology's bullshit, shit. But if they're Scientologists, they'll be like, oh, it's you've got to come over to Scientology and find out about it. We'll tell you all about the free wins. Yeah, it's really cool. But it's a simple question. What's it about? People ask people all the time about their T-shirts, so just ask them. Because then that way Oh, look, here's someone from Sweden. Magnus. Who's Hi, greetings from another Swede. All right. And here's Tinker Mom. Woohoo! Comment, Miss Tori, I would love to make you a full-size lime pie with the tarts I bought. Oh my God, for your birthday. If you'd like to have it, is there a way to contact you to arrange delivery? Sure. Yeah. Here's this. You can send me a text at that number, right? You don't have to do the Zelle thing, but that's my text. That's my. You can send a text via that number, and then I'll send you my address. Would that work? I think it would work out. Those were so good. Oh my God, this woman can cook. I mean, we were all like starving, first of all, and then they had these delicious key lime pie. Oh, they were so good. Yeah, that'd be fun. So do that. That should work, I think. If it won't, let me know. Oh wait, I forgot to take the thing off. The banners. All right, stop. Go away. No, darn it. How do I get out of here? How do I get out of here? I don't want that. Okay, there you go. Wait. Somebody, it just went away. I think it's a timing thing. All right, there you go. Okay, Swedish Nina. It's so hard to see this sweet lady being a young hippie drug taker. Yet it's why Tori is so cool still. I mean, I wasn't like a big drugs taker, but I kind of was. I mean, it was like whatever anybody was trying, I was willing to try it. I mean, it was enough. I mean, like my mother said, there's two things that Scientology helped you with. One, it got me back in touch with them because I was way out of touch with them as a hippie, and mad at them because they moved away from my hometown, Park Ridge. So I was really mad at them. And then the other one was, darn it, there's my thing. Why does it keep coming back? How come the email thing? All right, stop. Okay, there we go. Good. And then the other one was, it got me off of drugs, which I wasn't really a heavy druggie. I was a social druggie, but I was in that dwindling spiral of that's how drugs are. It's like you start taking. I think I started with grass, and then my brother said, "Oh, you got to try LSD," and it just kind of went down from there. But if I hadn't found Scientology, which I know now it sounds ironic, it does, but it did really get me out of that whole group. And it was like, all right, now that was the first thing they said, look, we don't do drugs here. And I said, okay. It was just because I wasn't really a druggie. You see what I mean? It was like, okay, I don't have to do drugs. If I was with the druggie group, I would have kept doing drugs and probably God knows what. I mean, I was actually going to join Steve Jobs' commune. Isn't that interesting? I was reading about him in his book, and I thought, God, that was the same commune I was going to go to. Amazing a life. What a life. Question: why is it important if you're in a relationship and living together? They want you to get married. Well, first of all, that that depends on why is it important if you're in a relationship and living together. Okay, most of that you're thinking of has to do with the Sea Org. See, public, they can do whatever they want. If they want to live together, they live together. The Sea Org, they cannot have any sex, and this was Hubbard. He was just a fanatic on this kind of thing. So they couldn't have any sex at all. They couldn't kiss anything until they got married. So, and you know what? The odd thing is that a lot of the guys that were in the Sea Org way back when, and probably got married so they could have sex. I mean, I'm sure they liked each other, but they had long marriages. A lot of them. We really stayed together. I mean, I was married for 26 years. If I hadn't left Scientology, I'd still be married. I think I did. But anyway, that's why that was a Hubbard thing on the Sea Org couldn't have sex. Public, that's a different thing. They didn't have those rules for that. They didn't run the public. Thank you, Sophie, and love it from modding for Tori and us. I'm grateful. Me too. They are so great, both of you. I always think, well, I didn't thank them enough. Cricket. All right. I would love to see you monetized. I know it's not why you're doing it, but I'm sure many like me would like to send you support for the work that you do. Well, you know that you can send stuff now with Cash App is one, PayPal is another one with my name spelled wrong. That was thanks to DOA. Venmo, you can send it via Zelle. So all of those, any of those you can do right now. And if you forget them, they're underneath Tori Magoo 44. On my main page, it says for more information on Tori, and then it has underneath that is the whole little tree with all the things. So if you want to, you can just send me whatever you want. I'm happy to get anything. It's always fun. It really is. And people have sent me some nice things. So there you go. And the monetization, we're still working on it. And I don't know. It's supposedly supposed to be coming. Please excuse my typos using my small phone. No problem. I understand that. It's difficult. All right. I would love to see you. Okay. That's what I'm gonna do. All right. And here's Danny. Hey, Danny. Hi. I miss you. I really do. We've got to figure out a place where we can meet up. Where send me a text of where you can go, and we'll protest. Which day and what time and where you can go. Because I mean, except for Thursday, which is my birthday. That's the only time when I can't. Thursday and Saturday. Those 2 times I can't. But the rest of the time I can. All right. Kathy Ann. Occupied Clearwater was when Mark Bunker was Wise Beard Man and they showed footage of you giving him a dressing down for protesting in '99, then interviewing you and protesting together. Okay. All right. Gotcha. Well, thank you for that, Kathy. All right. Tinker Mom. Yay. Okay. I'll make it tomorrow. All right. It will have a homemade crust. Ooh, good. And can deliver tomorrow afternoon or evening or Thursday morning, whichever works best for you. Let's do Thursday. Yeah, because that'd I think that'd be really fun because that's my birthday. It'd be fun to have it then. All right, now let me see. Oh my goodness, there's still some more start things. I think. Let me see. Okay, love it. All right. Scientology has bought off the Curacao government. The locals hate having the free winds there. Not a safe place. I've heard that. Yeah. Okay, Swedish Lena. I think that they are having free win across the world event sometime this week. Really? I know that they have had a summer camp for kids on it this year. Oh, Jesus. I think they're showing a video to the orgs. Hmm. Yeah, they got to do something. I don't like that they have stuff that where they're using the kids. That's gross. Wait, I mean Wednesday, not tomorrow. Old lady brain. No, I know you don't mean tomorrow. I mean, but I'm thinking Thursday, if that's okay. Have you checked out any dispensaries? Now, wait a minute. Today is. Oh, yeah, today's Tuesday. You're right. Wow. Have you checked out any dispensaries? It's still a little weird for me because it was illegal for so long. No, I don't want to do. No. You mean with grass? No. I tried it a couple of times, and I've lost 100 pounds and kept it off for 14 years. My birthday it'll be 15 years, so that's pretty good. So I tried grass one time and I couldn't stop eating. I was on the internet and I was like, okay, I got to get something to eat. I'll be right back. And I'd go in and get something to eat, come back. And okay, I got to get something to eat. I'll be right back. And I just thought, no, I did not spend all these years losing 100 pounds and keeping it off to gain it back. Like Flora used to say, who helped me lose the 100 pounds, you can gain weight faster than anybody I've ever seen in 1 week, and you can also lose weight faster than anyone. So, I know me, and I was just like, not gonna do it. I don't need to be. I don't want to. And I know they have stuff where you won't be hungry, but I don't want to do it. Love your nail color. Thank you. White bubble. All right. And this is Sophie. Aw. I didn't know how to do all those hearts with the different colors. Question: a friend's wife has shot outside the org in Dublin in the 60s, 70s. It caused quite a flap. Would the cult have kept a record of the incident? He went on to be on the ship with LRH. I have no idea. I mean, a friend's wife was shot outside of the org. I kind of doubt it, but I have no idea. I really don't. They could have kept it, and then I don't know. It's hard to tell with Miss Cabbage. Tinker Mom, I hope it's before I see Tori on Wednesday. All right, love it. Heck, it's just as easy to make two as it is to make one. I'll bring Tori two, and maybe you'll be able to grab one of them. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, let's give Love it one. That'd be wonderful. That's great. Thank you, Tinker Mom. Thanks so much. I know both of us. It's like that's what a treat. I wish we could throw you a virtual birthday party. We will. We will. We'll work it out. I mean, don't worry about it. It's we don't have to do anything. But my celebration is you guys here. That's what's great. Comment: did you know actress Suzanne Snyder was from Park Ridge? Really? And she was in the 80s movie Weird Science. I didn't know she was from the same town and state you were. No, I don't think I did, but I'm very bad with names. So I don't know. Then I just ran into someone yesterday or a couple of days ago when I was protesting, who was from a high school right near ours, and he heard that I was from Maine Township East. And I said, "Yeah, I was in Hillary Clinton's class council." Hillary Rodham back then. Anyway, um, morning, lovely Tori. Thank you, Joe. Well, thank you so much for Love It and Sophie for helping us do this, and all of you for being so kind and so nice. It really is wonderful. It really, I can't thank you enough. So, anyway, that's it. That's the show. I think we're done. Thank everybody for coming and hanging out. Wishing you all an amazing day or night. I agree. I just can't type that fast. All right. Well, I love you guys and have an excellent tomorrow. All right. Good night.